Another one. Think of another one. Yes, it was the second game of the doubleheader. We lost the first, but were tied in the bottom of the last inning of the second one. I'd reached first on a walk. Never was much of a hitter. Then stole second base easily. I couldn't hit, but no one ever outran me. Standing on second, feeling good about being the potential winning run, I looked over to behind the third base dugout where Wanda was sitting. She smiled and stood up so I could see her. The next batter singled to center, and I was off. Unfortunately, their fielder had a rocket for an arm. The ball, the catcher, and I arrived at home all at the same instant. I was out, in more ways than one. When the dust from the collision had cleared, they had to carry me off the field. I had broken my ankle. Don't even remember if we had won that game, 'cause the best part came after. On the way back from the hospital, Wanda sat close to me. She felt sorry for me that I wouldn't get to play ball anymore. Me too, I guess. Other than fight and kill, baseball was the only other thing I did well. But I still remember like it was yesterday, how Wanda cared for and pampered me, so I wouldn't be in pain. That night we made love till the sun started coming up. My foot still throbbing. She made me forget everything. Her touch teased my mind and drove me crazy at the same time. And that night, our loving each other, it was all so perfect, so very, very perfect. All that's gone now. So I have to keep reminding myself of what he stole. Have to keep telling myself these stories over and over. Build up my rage, my hate. The more angry I am, the less I'll need to rely on my powers. Can't afford to use them unless it's absolutely necessary. I somehow sense the drainage, how I foolishly used about 20% already. It's clear that I have to count on myself, not these powers. What's important is Wanda. I have to focus on that. The devil told me that once my power is exhausted, I'll be banished from Earth forever. I'd much rather get Wanda back, solve my problems, and not use these powers as a crutch. It's almost like being human again. Since I'm not, it's time to nail the scumbag who helped me into this bizarre situation. This sadistic game. Come on, come on, come on! Kill him! Get him! Get him! Yeah! Come on, come on, come on, come on!
Yeah, cool. Nailed him. Just gotta get one more guy and I'm into level 6. This game's rad.
Chapel. Used to call him a friend. Once had a few laughs together. Then he changed. Became just like me. Or maybe I became like him. Doesn't matter now. I heard he was being considered as a recruit for the Youngblood program. Seemed like to send him on a glory streak, trying to prove his worth to the brass. Always ready for action. Always ready to kill. Just like me. Funny how hired assassins like us could find death to be the common link to our admiration for each other. Death. The one thing we could always talk about over a beer. And women.
Lot better than that sucky shaft game. That was limp. Ouch. I'd never let my name go on a bad game. He must have needed the cash. Come on, come on. I bet I could get a bazillion points on this one. Kill him. Over there, now. Kill him.
Every time I saw him, he had one or two all over him. The Don Juan of killers, I called him. Never dated any of them. Just got laid, then tossed them aside. He said relationships were too much trouble. He even offered to take Wanda off my hands once a week if I got tired of her. The pig knew how much I loved her. Didn't seem to matter. He actually thought he'd be doing me a favor.
Ah, crud. Not another one.
Chapel did me one favor, though. During his review period before his induction into Youngblood, he brought me to Washington, D.C. to see the group's central headquarters.
Especially not now.
The Youngblood program had been interested in me as a candidate. I guess they wanted to schmooze me a bit. Lucky for me, I got to learn the basic layout of the joint. It's not changed all that much over the last 5 years.
I just don't believe it. This is the 100th one I broke already. Can't they get it right? I mean, geez. They can put a man on the moon, but they can't figure out how to build a handheld tough enough for me?
This place is still rigged with heat sensors. Anything even remotely human can be detected. My body doesn't trip the alarm, which means I'm not remotely human. No great surprise. By hiding in a newly empty canister among supplies being stored, it was amazingly easy to be delivered to the proper level. I'm left to wait for his return. Days, weeks, he would have to return sometime. I wanted to be there.
Plus they dock me every time one breaks. Nice incentive program. Ain't my fault I got stumps for fingers. They had a heart attack when I asked for an arcade game.
So I sat, and as each day passed, my hatred softened a bit. I then began to tell myself about Wanda, remembering the great times we had, the special moments. Each thing I can't recall enhances the mood. My anger grows again.
But why now? Right in the middle of my best game ever. It couldn't have broken yesterday when I couldn't do dick. Oh no. Wouldn't want to do that now, would we?
Badrock. Badrock, are you there? Come in, boy.
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
We're still here in the training room. Thought I'd check on you to see how you were doing. And to make sure you weren't thinking about using the security screen as a receiver for your video games. Part of being a young blood involves discerning when and where your time is appropriate for our needs. Get my drift?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, don't worry about me, sir. I haven't even opened that new game they sent over.
Good. How's everything else?
So does my hate. You can hate someone but not be angry at them. And you can be angry at someone but not hate them. It takes a very evil person to make you combine the two. Chapel has become that. So I waited some more.
Couldn't be better. You can count on me. I've got my eyes peeled.
Finally, he showed. By the time I could make a move to the training room, 2 others had joined him there. What was he training for? He always said practice makes perfect, but you need to practice on things that are alive. I hope his 2 companions are smart enough not to turn their backs on him. If he could kill a friend, everything else is easy and enjoyable.
Is this the best test material we can find? I'm wasting my bloody time.
Then watch out, tough guy, 'cause here come those new warrior droids you ordered for practice.
Finally! Something to sink my teeth into.
Badrock, can you tell Riptide it's time to relieve you at Sector 1?
Aye, Captain. Don't forget your meeting at 3.
Hey guys, forgot to mention our meeting with the CAA group in 20 minutes. Time to shut it down.
Not me. You babies quit if you want. I'm just getting warmed up.
His laugh is barely muffled as it leaches through the door and down the hallway. Damn him. Still as cocky as ever. Good. Didn't want this to be too easy. 'Cause with my powers, I can't lose. No matter what happens in the next few hours, I've got the winning hand. Now there's a change. One final reminder before I take him out. Wanda.
The deafening sound of steel ramming steels startles the 3 Youngblood members. At the door, they see a figure, standing poised for the challenge. He doesn't move a muscle as he calmly scans, considering how to use it all to his advantage. Although he doesn't move, his cape and chains seem to flit about, snapping like caged animals getting ready to feast. He spots Chapel no more than 30 feet away, and his heart, if that's truly what it is, skips a beat, and yet he does not move. He has decided that any action with each young blood might be a drain on his powers. Besides, it's only one of the 3 he's concerned with. Though he wishes not to waste any more of his precious new powers, he knows he has no choice. Team Leader Shaft commands the respect of those he leads and those he fights. No such luck with this dead soldier.
Make a move, mister, and there'll be 20 agents on your back. Don't know how you got in, but you're not going to walk out.
Make your move.
Everyone freezes, but the moment is broken by the sudden entrance of another.
Yo, dude, what's up? Someone tripped the silent alarm? So where's the action? Great! Another member. You must be from the Young Blood Academy. Awesome cape, dude.
Enough. It's time to end this phase of things. Spawn lifts his hands and gestures ever so slowly, like a modern-day Dracula. He begins to morph in size and shape, shrinking and twisting, radiating colors of greenish hues, until he is completely gone from sight, save from the twinkling of power residue. This was a pre-calculated energy drain. There was no other choice.
Wow, that was cool. Pardon me, fellas. He wasn't the only one to zap out of here. He took Chapel with him.
What? Okay, listen up. Die Hard, you sweep the complex for signs of other security breaches. If it's clear, notify headquarters. I've just reassigned our unit. Bedrock.
Badrock.
Whatever. Check the databases for anyone with powers similar to our intruders. Then access all data connected to current Super Freak activity.
Right. I'm going to see if I can get a lock on the personal guidance signal he carries. Should pinpoint him within 10 minutes.
Good. Now alert the other members to get their rears down here. Pronto. We've got a Code 1 event. Time to show the bad guys what happens when you try to mess with us. If Chapel doesn't kill him first.
It's late for Terry Fitzgerald and Wanda Blake. Most of their neighbors in the New York suburb of Queens have been asleep for hours, nestled in warm beds. Terry wishes he was doing likewise. As it is, he stands, staring out the window, nervously fidgeting with the curtain string. The cause of his restlessness, a one too subtle threat of harm to his family from his own agency. As an agent of the United States Security Group, he's always faced with the possibility of danger. Terry distanced himself from that side of things years ago, when he shifted over to his intercultural liaison unit. After what happened to Al, he needed a break from the frontline activity. He thought he'd finally gotten it. This morning's threat says otherwise. He knows the security group doesn't muscle its own unless they have something serious. For the life of him, he can't imagine what that can be. That doesn't matter. That they even imagine a problem is disaster enough. Now he must try to find some answers before things get really ugly. Find, determine, formulate, solve. These are the 4 basic points of his training. It seems they left one out.
Terry, is something wrong?
Protect.
I thought I was the only one having sleepless nights these days.
Wanda and Cyan, your wife and child. Any loving husband would shelter them from harm. Terry is no different. Unfortunately, he has no target to defend against. Knowing the people he works with, it might be difficult to find one. Until he chooses a course of action, he can say nothing to her about his worries. For her part, Wanda has long accepted that his job brings with it a certain degree of secrecy.
Is it something you can tell me about?
No, not yet. I'm going to check on Cyan.
As he gazes at his daughter's innocent face, he wonders how much time is left before she learns the cruelty that people do to each other. New York City's Police Department, 12th Precinct.
How could such a thing happen? Poor little foo-foo.
Detective Sam Burke is just finishing a miserable day's work fielding the complaints of concerned citizens. Such is the fate of a policeman under internal investigation.
I mean, the absolute gall of that man. Since when did God die and leave him in charge? So where was I? Oh, yes! After my husband locked him in his own garage, accidentally, of course. We never realized that this lunatic would even think of using his chainsaw as a lethal weapon. After destroying his own door, the bugger nearly killed my hubby! Are you listening, young man?
Yes, ma'am.
Good! For that sick, evil, spiteful man to start sawing up my poor Foo-Foo's doghouse without checking to see if she was still inside. Well, I don't even want to think of what could have happened if I didn't stop him. I mean, it's not my fault he forced me to get so angry. Besides, I can't believe a man with an ass as fat as his would have even felt that butcher knife in his rear. I hardly stabbed him, the big baby. I just can't believe he called the cops. Ain't your problem my hubby totaled his new Porsche? Accidentally, of course.
Excuse me, sir. Good news. The board will be releasing its decisions tomorrow. If we're acquitted, we can be back on the streets by Thursday. Thought you'd want to know.
Thanks, Twitch. 'Cause I'm gonna find our little red hero that day. Let him know what I've been going through. He owes us, Twitch. Big time.
Nearly 8,000 miles from Youngblood headquarters lies a certain swamp in Botswana. A green mist swirls there, visibly taking forms. The dehuman forms take a few minutes to recover from the sadistic experience of teleportation. Puking helps.
Where the hell are we now?
Surely you haven't forgotten this place already.
Ooh, buddy, I don't pay attention to the landscape when I'm working.
Exactly. You never gave a damn about anything that crossed your path, even your so-called friends. What happened, Chapel? Figured I'd pass you in service ranking. Maybe it was my haircut or clothes. You never did need any logical reason to kill someone. You just wanted a target. Friend or foe, what's the difference?
Buddy, you don't know a thing about me. Not a goddamn thing. If we're here to fight, then let's get on with it. Otherwise, get the hell out of my way.
Always the tough guy, huh? I'd forgotten how deep your arrogance could be. Everything I am you gave to me. In a roundabout way, the devil didn't make me. You did. He only took advantage after I was dead. As for fighting, you're damn right we're going to fight. And by the way, your signal device, I scrambled the signal. Your friends won't be helping you today.
Spawn removes his cape in preparation for battle.
Bud, you're completely nuts!
He isn't disappointed.
Nuts? Haven't you been listening? You killed me, stole everything from me, and you don't remember it? Well, look at what you've made me. I thought we were the same, that we loved our country and would kill for it, but friends, you don't slaughter friends. It was the enemy we were after that day. Guess I made a fatal mistake in trusting you.
You're a crazy one, that's for sure. It's gonna be a pleasure breaking your scrawny little neck. Let's end this, now!
You haven't changed in all these years. So full of yourself. Always did think you were the best, even with the ladies. Isn't that right? Don Juan of Killers.
What did you call me? Dear Lord. Al?
Chapel's mind is elsewhere for an instant, focused on events years past. Your boss, Jason Wynn, has just given you a new assignment. In Botswana, you would mix with the U.S. units, wait for things to heat up, then kill your target. You're the only one who can get close enough to Al Simmons. Yes, he was a friend, but your briefing called him for a spy for your agency's enemies, who'd been flaunting his presidential status as a smokescreen. Details were given. Of course, you verified nothing. Such is the mark of a good soldier. Never question authority. Just follow orders. Who better to kill a security problem than an obedient puppet? For you, Chapel, getting the job done was a source of pride. That pride was stronger than any relationship. You even bought all of Simmons' drinks that night. When the time came, you casually loaded your laser pack, walked to him, and fried his brains to a crisp. A job well done. Now to get the word out.
Government officials confirmed today that casualties in the U.S.-Botswana conflict included Lieutenant Colonel Al Simmons. He was best known for the courage he showed while thwarting an assassination attempt on the former president. Although no details were given, a statement read by the White House press secretary said that he died defending his nation. Simmons was among that elite branch whose activities were covert, but broadly defined as upholding the security and interest of these United States. Services will be held later this week at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia. Both the president and vice president are expected to attend, as well as officers from all branches of the armed services. Simmons' widow, Wanda Blake, is in seclusion and unavailable for comment.
Okay, let's see if I got this straight. 43 U.S. soldiers have been killed so far in the U.S.-Botswana conflict, but the government singles out just one of them to hold up as a glowing example of truth, justice, and the American way. What about the other 42 dead officers? Is only Simmons to be granted sainthood? Or is there something more here? Call me a cynic, but is it just coincidence that the president is pulling at our heartstrings and vowing to build U.S. activity in this war, just as the polls show his popularity at rock bottom? Nice move, Mr. President. Great timing. Nothing like a good war and a dead hero to help bolster your standing. Then again, I could be reading too much into this.
Today we mark the passing of a soldier as uniquely significant in the armed forces as he was in the media. Lieutenant Colonel Al Simmons, who just 2 years ago was voted one of our 10 sexiest men by People magazine, has been less prominent this past year. Though, this charismatic gentleman fought for our safety every day. It was his bravery during the Hinckley incident that marked him in our memories. Unconfirmed reports say that Simmons was caught in an enemy ground sweep and tried valiantly to draw fire away from his fellow soldiers. It is such acts of courage that make us all proud of the war efforts in Botswana. Lieutenant Colonel Simmons, though very special in his own right, considered himself equal to any and all who put their lives on the line for freedom and democracy, said a Pentagon spokesman.
You're not real. You can't be. It must be Geiger messing with me again. Always throwing some illusion or trick at me. But to you, Simmons, that's a good one. That traitor's already died once. Let him rot in hell. You got your own problems to worry about.
It is me, Chapel. I'm dead all right, but not dead enough that I can't take a punk like you.
Maybe it's you, and maybe it's not. Never could stomach your whining all the time. Trying to fix everything. You always wear the goody two-shoes. Think you're screwed. Then damn you. It was me who took the serum, not you. I'm the one poisoned with HIV. So screw your sob story.
How pitiful you've become. I didn't take the serum because Wanda and I were trying to conceive. So you believe what you want. I don't care. But it is me, back from the dead, with more power than I need, but little else.
You don't scare me, Simmons. I killed you once. I can do it again.
Wrong! I'm the one here in the position to kill. You'd be dead if that's what I wanted. It's not. You see, Chapel, when I died, friends and family mourned. My death caused a lot of sadness.
Ah!
But if I killed you, no one would give a crap. You don't have any friends or family who would shed a single tear. Only thing you ever cared about was one-night stands. A bunch of whores who didn't give a damn about you the next day. That's all you've got. All you'll ever have. Well, I can fix that. You stole everything I cherished, everything I loved. Time I even the score. Here's your tracking device. It works fine now. Your pal should find you sometime. I want to see how tough you really are, if you can keep this war on a personal level.
Eight hours later.
Chapel, you okay? Hey man, what Jeez!
Bedrock, get the first aid now! He needs help! Chapel, what's up? Where's the Cape guy? How'd you get here? What do you want? What do you say?
Nothing.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe to become part of the Al Simmons Army. Also, follow the Twitter for more updates. Malebolgia, just you wait.